Hi, welcome back to Therapy to the Point. I'm Jeffrey, I'm a licensed therapist, and in today's video I'm going to go over how to finally stop catastrophizing. Catastrophizing is a cognitive distortion when we tend to magnify the importance of negative events. When we catastrophize, we also tend to think of the worst possible scenarios. When we catastrophize, we also tend to jump to the worst possible conclusions. When we catastrophize, this leads to heightened levels of stress, anxiety, and sometimes people can live in a constant state of fear. When we catastrophize, we tend to not take any risks because we always are concerned with the worst case scenario. When you catastrophize, you think of the worst possible scenario, and therefore, even if it's something that you really want to do, you always are asking, well, what if this bad thing happens? Catastrophizing can also lead to having an anxious attachment style, which means that you're in constant fear that your partner is going to abandon you at some point. This can lead to behaviors that appear as overly clingy from the outside. However, inside the mind are catastrophic related thoughts like, what if they leave me? What if they never come back? And all of those sorts of thoughts. When you catastrophize, you feel like you cannot relax because you're always in a constant heightened state of awareness. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a strategy to stop catastrophizing. Let's get into it. I like to call this technique negative buckets. And throughout this exercise, I want you to think of yourself as having 4 different negative buckets. In one bucket, we're going to have events that are catastrophic, horrible, terrible, disastrous. In the next bucket, we're going to have events that are very bad. In the following bucket, we're going to have events that are bad. And in the last bucket, we're going to have events that are not ideal. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to define what events go into each category. For example, in the catastrophic bucket, you're going to put events such as terminal illness, the death of a loved one, losing your home. In the very bad bucket, you're going to put events that are a little bit less catastrophic, maybe like getting into a minor car accident, being hospitalized for a few days, things of that nature. In the bad bucket, you're going to put events such as getting a bad grade, getting fired, getting a cold. In the not ideal bucket, you're going to put events such as being stuck in traffic or being in a pointless meeting. I want you to pause and I want you to write down different events for the 4 different buckets. It's worth mentioning that something that is very bad to you may not necessarily be very bad to someone else, so make sure that it's congruent to your situation. Now, I want you to know that when you catastrophize, your mind tends to put something that is in the not ideal or bad bucket into the catastrophic or terrible bucket. This results in overreactions to small negative events. So the way that we can stop this is by using this coping strategy. First, we want to place the negative event that is happening to us in the correct bucket. Secondly, we want to remind ourselves that the negative event that we're experiencing is in that particular bucket and not in the catastrophic bucket. So it sounds something like this. It's bad that I just spilled coffee on my shirt, but it's not the end of the world. Another example might look like, I'm a few minutes late to work. This is not ideal, but it's not a catastrophe. Hopefully this strategy can help you decatastrophize certain situations. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And for more content like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you and see you in the next one.